What's up, YouTube? It's Gmo here, bringing you a slightly different video than usual. Usually I do some progress videos, but this one is going to be a little bit different. I am going to be using some old school Runescape Mobile Beta background video, I guess, because people have wanted to see how exactly the woodcutting works and fletching. And I did some crafting because it is also very similar to fletching. It's pretty much the same on mobile. But that will be the background footage for this episode. And this episode or video is going to discuss how I started playing RuneScape. I got the idea from Wild Mudkip. He is a fantastic YouTuber. He puts a lot of hard work into his videos. He does a lot of different videos about RuneScape, more so than him actually playing RuneScape. Really good YouTuber. I could highly recommend him to pretty much anyone. He also has a hardcore Iron Man series that I have watched a little bit. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start the video. How I started playing RuneScape was back in 2005. My brother's cousin showed him this game, and he was my stepbrother, so I only got to see him on weekends at the time. And he lived in a different city about an hour away from where I live. But he showed me this game, and he started playing it. And he started to go through Tutorial Island, and I kind of helped him. And I was like, you know, this game looks really cool. I know how to play it. I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs and make my own account and start playing it with him. So I go upstairs and I make my own account, and I had to lie and say I was 13, which just so happened to be after midnight. That part actually kind of gets a little bit more important later on, but I started that account a little bit after midnight, and we started playing, and I made it to the area where you can add friends. So I went downstairs, asked him his username, and told him to add me. Ran back upstairs, added him back, and then I noticed he was kind of just standing there at the magic area, and I guess neither of us noticed, but the spell book, we didn't notice the icon pop up, so we didn't know how to cast spells, and we were going at it for a couple hours trying to figure it out, and we eventually just gave up, logged back in the next day, and we finally figured it out and got teleported off of Tutorial Island. And we started playing, and we played all night, and he comes running up the stairs crying. And I thought this was really funny at the time, but then I felt bad a little bit afterwards because I thought of myself in this situation. But he was probably about combat level 5 or 6, and I was probably 4 or 5. And he died to a level 7 farmer and lost about 250 GP. Fresh off of Tutorial Island, had no clue what the game was, thought 250 GP was a boatload of money. And I thought it was so funny, and I was just trying not to laugh, trying not to make him feel bad. And then he goes back downstairs, and I started thinking about it, and I was like, man, that's a lot of money. I really hope I don't die and lose that much money, and I started feeling bad. So I kind of, I guess, ignored it, didn't say much about it the next day. And the ironic thing about me making my account after midnight was my RuneScape account was actually made on my birthday in 2005. I have went to Hans multiple times just to confirm this, done the math of the days, counted in leap years and everything. I've done this multiple times, and the account that I play on to this day is from 2005 on my birthday. My RuneScape account shares a birthday with me. Cool stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about some of the stories I remember having whenever I played RuneScape with my friends whenever I was still a noob, because that's basically the shortened version of how I started playing RuneScape way back in 2005. But I remember in class we had computer lab, and if we got our work done early, we were allowed to play games. And so I would bust out my work and play games while I discovered RuneScape, and I would bust out my work and eventually started playing RuneScape at school. And a couple of my friends noticed, and they're like, "Oh wow, you play RuneScape too? That's cool, I play it." So we would all sit there in computer lab and play RuneScape together. The biggest thing I remember about that, though, is we would go to Barbarian Village and kill stuff. We would safe spot a lot of the barbarians for XP. We would also play hide and seek throughout Varrock. I thought that was really fun. Just back whenever we were noobs, it was just a blast. I had so many friends that used to play this game. Another story I remember is also playing it in high school. We had the IP blocked because it was a game, and we weren't allowed to play games in school on the school computers. So we would start getting proxies, and we would all play on the proxies, which was really funny because the teachers really didn't care to begin with. But we would play RuneScape on the proxy servers that we could just find online and use so we could access whatever website we wanted. I also remember getting muted. I got double muted for the same conversation. I don't know what happened there, but I've got 2 reports of 2 different parts of the same conversation, and I think I got like 6 or 7 days mute. And I also did get banned one time whenever I was really young. I think this was in 2006, so I would have been 10 or 11 maybe. And what I was doing was I was going around, and this sounds really bad, but you gotta think, I was 10 or 11. I was scamming rune scimitars, well, the money for rune scimitars. I would say in populated banks, I would say selling rune scimitar, and I would offer up a noted rune scimitar. They would offer up the cash, and this was before the notifications when trades get altered ever was around. And as soon as they'd offer up the cash, I would offer up a couple junk items, take away the rune scimitar, put up the iron one, and offer a couple more junk items. And it worked a couple times, but I also ended up getting a 3-day ban for it. So that never happened again. But I just have so many memories, too many to fit into one video, especially this style video. It's a ramble style video. I'm just kind of saying, you know, the events that happened whenever I was younger on my mind. I remember picking bananas from Karamja for money. That was my money-making method as a kid. I thought it was just crazy good money, which now you could probably pick the bananas and dump them in the GE for more profit somehow. There's probably some efficient method for it. But I just have so many memories and so much I've learned. I mean, this isn't supposed to be a joke, but you learn a little bit about economics and how they work through the Grand Exchange if you actually attempt to sit down and play the economic game and start flipping, I guess. You do learn a little bit about economics. Maybe not a whole lot, maybe not the in-depth detailed stuff, but you do learn a good portion of information in economics from the Grand Exchange. And you also do learn not to trust everyone. Obviously, with my situation, I was scamming. I think I only scammed like 1 or 2 rune scimitars before I just gave up. And that if it's too good to be true, then it's probably not. With money doublers, the bots dicing right now, they have that you can actually set the weight for what the dice rolls. You can set it to, you know, 55 out of 100 or higher is a win, but you can also set the dice to roll more commonly under 55 or the winning number, but that's besides the point. But you do learn a lot of lessons from this game if you've played it for a long time. maybe not even a long time. And the friends I've made along the way, I made a friend of my brother's, one of my really good friends. He still plays RuneScape to this day, but I remember whenever I was younger, we would, every Sunday, Verizon, I think it was Sundays, Verizon had a deal where you got like unlimited calling after a certain time, and we would sit down, me and him, we would call each other, and then he would call his other friend and get a three-way call going on, and we would just sit there and play RuneScape. And now he's one of my really good friends. He still plays to this day. He hasn't played a lot here recently, but he has played within the past couple months for sure. And just like, I guess the friends I've made, the memories I've made, just everything that I've learned from this game, it really means a lot to me. It really does. Even if RuneScape were to go down, I would never forget anything about it. I would remember just about everything that I remember today. I still play their game. I would still have all of my memories, and I would wish to keep them forever. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tell me about how you guys first started playing RuneScape in the comments below. I'd really like to know, because some people just, they have the craziest stories. I remember some of my friends from my computer lab class, that story I referenced earlier, they actually played through Lethal Penguin. I know a lot of people started playing because of Miniclip and all kinds of other Java browser-based game websites. So go ahead and tell me how you guys first started playing RuneScape, because I'd really like to hear all the random, crazy, off-the-wall stories like mine as to how you actually started. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I may start doing a couple more here and there like this, and kind of split it up with the progress videos. They are taking a very long time to get out now, mostly because of my combat level. I'm working on combat 99s right now, but there is still being progress made every single day. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.